Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming.
Hey wonderful friends, it's me Andrea Gomoll from Creative Creations with a little special video for you today for International Women's Day. At least if you're watching this today. If you're watching it later, it will still be fun, hopefully. So I have a printable file, a printable like coloring page that I'm sharing with you, and along with that printable coloring page I have a printable sticker sheet or collage element sheet, journaling spot sheet, whatever you want to call it and whatever you want to use it for, right? For you to download as a gift for you, for all you amazing women out there, for International Women's Day, just as a little gift gift and sign of appreciation for all of you, for your support. So you can find the link to download the printables down there in the info box. If you are on YouTube or if you are watching this on my blog, you can download it right below the video. Or I will share the process of coloring that coloring page, of coloring that page with you in this video. This is the printable. There are two versions, one without lettering and one with lettering. I will share that in a second. And yeah, I'm just sharing the process with you of bringing this to life with watercolors, and I hope it will inspire you. I hope you will enjoy watching me color this, and I hope you will enjoy and have fun with the printables. I hope they are helpful, not helpful, but they are of use. Does it make sense? I think, yeah, it does. I hope you like them, and I hope you will find a way to use them for you in your art, in your creations, in your planners, whatever it is that you are doing. So yeah, I think that is it. So without further ado, again, thank you so much for supporting me, for being here, for following me on my artsy journey. And now let's jump into the creation process. Enjoy, guys. Okay, so let's start. First thing, I printed the downloadable line art on some watercolor paper. Just make sure that your printer, first of all, your printer can take the watercolor paper, the weight of the watercolor paper, so you don't want to use like too heavy watercolor paper because most printers can't handle that. This is a 220 gram, which my printer works very well with. And next thing that is important is that you use a laser printer and not an inkjet printer, because if you work with wet media, you will reactivate the ink if you're using an inkjet printer, and the lines will kind of smudge and move around. And quite obviously that's not what we want, so make sure you have a laser print. Okay, there are two versions in the PDF file that you can download. First of all, this one with the lettering on it, okay, and the second one is for you if you want to personalize it a little more, if you want to add your own lettering, hand lettering, or your own journaling, maybe your own thoughts, whatever you would like to add. Or another option would be to use the downloadable sticker sheet, or stickers from a sticker sheet that kind of come with this Women's Day set, and you can just print them out and cut them out, and then just like once you have colored in the page, you can just use those stickers, for example, to incorporate them, collage them down onto the page. If that's what you want, that's another option. So yeah, or stamp on it, glue some letters, stickers on it, so whatever you like, okay? I think I will just go with this version, because yeah, that's kind of what I would add to to the piece anyway, because they're two of my favorite like sayings or quotes. Yeah, and I'll be starting out with some watercolor markers, the clean color real brush pens. I have quite a variation here of different different skin colors, because I want to give the 4 ladies on here, the 4 women, 4 different slightly different skin colors, so a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, to add some variation here, to kind of show different nationalities, different ethnicities. And I think first of all I need to get rid of the cat who really likes to sit on my artwork. I don't know why, but if you have a cat you maybe can relate. They always love to just sit on your art or sit on your keyboard if you're on the computer. So whatever you're doing, they kind of like to keep you company and stop you from working. So yeah, I'll be back. So here we are, back on track. And I think I will just jump right in and get started, picking some of the lighter skin colors here. But again, go with whatever skin color you like. No right or wrong here, no rules. Let's get rid of the cat hair. Yeah, and then I'll just jump right in, laying down the first layer of a light skin color here. Just going into the darker areas, so along the outline of the body and in those areas where there would be like a cast shadow, like down here at the neck. And then I'll just grab my brush loaded with some water, and I'll just go in and slightly activate the color to soften that edge, to slightly blend it, to really get this like very soft gradient edge here. And then I just go back in, lay down a little more color where needed. So really just have fun with it. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Don't make it rocket science. Actually, it's just key to leave some lighter space with watercolors. That kind of always helps a lot already to create some dimension. So leave some white space. You can always continue to layer, you can always go darker as you go, but it's hard to get lighter with watercolor, so you really want to build the layers up, go darker step by step, over just going dark right away. Like that. And on a smaller scale like this, I tend to not overdo it with the coloring, so I'm keeping this rather simple here. Grabbing a little bit of a slightly darker skin tone here, but again I kind of want to keep her rather light in skin tone, so like a European or Scandinavian type of skin tone, a lighter Caucasian skin tone. So that's basically all that I'll be doing here as a base. Moving on to the next one here, or maybe I'm just going in with the darkest one over here. I think I kind of want her to be darker, because I think this like curly hair kind of would be a perfect match for some darker skin. So again, going in, blocking in the color into the darker areas, but again starting fairly light, because again building up that skin color, going darker step by step. So I'm not going in with like a dark brown color right away, because I always kind of want to have that option to build that color up and to go darker as I progress, as I move on. And I always kind of like to leave some highlights along the bridge of the nose and up here on the forehead. It's always a little darker around the eyes, where the eyes are kind of sunken back, further back in the face, underneath the nose, underneath the lips, where the nose and the lips are casting a shadow. Like that. And always make sure the tip of your brush is pointing towards the darkest area when you're shading, when you're blending. Because of course this gives you this like very soft blended edge, okay? That's why I'm always like turning my piece as I go, because I always want to make sure that my brush tip is pointing towards the darkest area when blending. That's actually key. So if you have problems with soft blending, soft edges, that might be the only tip you need to achieve far better results. And of course, blend as soft as you like. Sometimes I like to blend a little more for some soft edges, for a very, very smooth look. And sometimes I like to leave the colors like a little more blotchy. You say that? To kind of really take advantage of that texture that the watercolor gives you. So it really always depends on the look that I want to achieve. So I'm going to let that dry for the first layer. And I'm going a little darker later. And I will just do the very same thing to the other two girls. Yes, I'm going to put you in fast forward real quick. And then come back, maybe deciding for a little bit more of a peachy tone here for one of the other girls.
Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming, adventure take me there. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me.
So now that I have the basic skin color in place, again I will keep on layering, so this is just the first base layer. But first of all, I think I will just go into the background here and just add some random color to the background. I think I will keep it rather loose. I'm not gonna like color in all the individual compartments of the mandalas and of those leaves here, because I kind of want a little bit more of a loose, flowy watercolor look. Again, do what you like, do what you what you want. You can of course do the meditative task of coloring in those mandalas here. So whatever you like, I will just go in and keep it very loose. I'm just putting down the color with lots of water, allowing the color to move around, to blend, and to kind of do its thing, because for me that's kind of part of the magic of watercolor. Just like popping colors onto the paper and allowing them to do their magic. And of course, maybe that's like super cliche to work with pink here. But I just love pink. I don't know. In my art, I'm not like wearing any pink. Never. Actually, I don't think maybe I have like pink t-shirt or something, I don't know. But basically I'm not wearing any pink. But for my art, I just love that color. It's just so vibrant and I don't know, just fun to use. I just love it. So pink it is. Not only because it's about International Women's Day, so no stereotypes here. I'm also gonna add in a tad bit of a light blue, a beautiful sky color here, just for a little bit of variation. Just going with my intuition, so not overthinking it, not doing a lot of like planning here, just randomly using the colors, allowing them to blend and bleed and move around. I think down here I will go a little bit into like a bright spring green, which is also very pretty. Also making sure that the colors kind of interact a little. So you really just want to make sure that you put down the color, clean your brush, and then with the water just move like around that area to give the color or the pigment that you put down some water to play with. So you don't want to like evenly spread out the color. Of course, if that's what you want, if that's a look you like, go for it by all means. But I really like to kind of have that variation in the color. And then you get that by just putting down the pigment and then adding some water for the colors to blend and move around. So really just have fun with it. That's really like a part that I truly enjoy a lot, because it's just so much fun too. It's really like very meditative to kind of watch the watercolors do their magic on the paper, perform their magic on the paper. I just love it. For now, I like it. I might go back in later to add a little more to the background, but for now that's good. So I'm gonna let that dry. And then I might add in the hair and go back into the faces here. So next, this is all dry. It's a little bit wrinkly now. This is one of the downsides of using lighter weight watercolor paper, but if that bothers you, you can just tape it down before you start working to keep it like nice and flat. I myself, I don't really mind, because I know in the end I will just flatten this and then it will look perfect, so this doesn't really bother me. Yeah, so next thing I will jump into the hair. Just add some color to the hair, first base layer to the hair. For this girl I definitely want her to have like some dark brown hair. So I'm using this like sepia color here. And again, just basically blocking it in. For those curls, I'm making sure that I do this very loose. To kind of end up with some lighter areas, some darker areas, because there would be like a lot of change in the darkness of the color and a lot of variation in that color. And of course you can do this very, very precise, but again on a smaller scale like this, and I really prefer to just work very loose and very like not super detailed. So I'm not kind of worrying about where exactly the light hits and where exactly there would be more darkness. I'm just randomly like dropping it in, randomly putting down the color and blending it a little, just a little, because we don't want like an even brown layer, but we definitely want a lot of variation between the lights and the midtones and the shadows to bring out this like curly look of the hair. So first brown layer down, making sure that a little bit of white is still peeking through here and there, and you can see this already gives you a pretty good like curly hair look. Okay, so the next one, I think I'll give her some like very dark hair, like almost a black hair. Let's see, also starting a little lighter, going darker in the next layer then. Again, just very loosely blocking in the color, cleaning the brush and slightly blending it a little. Again, making sure that I keep some white space here. Okay, so the next one, I think, let's think she's gonna get some, no, she's gonna get some red hair, and yeah, let's see, I'm starting with a little bit of like an orangey red hue here. Again, working very loose, and I really don't mind like going over the lines in some areas. For me, this is all kind of part of the fun of watercolor, to work very, very loose. Like that. And yeah, some blonde hair, like a yellowish blonde. Then we kind of have all the different variations. Not all of them, of course, because there are many, many, many more. But we have a little bit of variation in here when it comes to hairstyle, hair color, and different skin colors. So kind of just resembling the diversity in the women here. Okay, so I'm gonna let the hair dry. While the hair dries, I'm going back into the girls here, going a little darker, So let's see, let's start with her over here with some brown.
Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming, adventure take me there. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me. And nothing in this world will interfere. This is my year. I've been watching closely now, been looking for a sign. And I can feel inside of me that this season is mine. Whoa, whoa. Feels so good to be alive, the sun upon my face. I tell you this will be the year that I will find my place. So look out world, cause here I come, I'm coming for you fast. What's done is done, and what's gone is gone, and my future's not my past. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me. And nothing in this world will interfere.
So while this dries, I will go back into the background one more time, adding another layer of color here, just in some areas where I think it needs a little bit more intensity or a little more vibrancy. So I'm not like layering on top of the previous layer like completely, but just adding a little more oomph where needed. If you're happy with your background after the first layer, totally fine, keep it. But for me, since watercolors, they always kind of dry a little lighter than when you put them down onto the paper. It's kind of good practice to go back one more time to kind of reach the intensity or the vibrancy that you kind of wish for.
Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming, adventure take me there. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me. And nothing in this world will interfere.
So now that this is all dry, I'm going back in, adding a little more shading to the faces, and I'm just working with a purpley shade here, purple color for the shading in the face, and going a little darker with the hair, so kind of adding in a darker version of the base color as well as a little bit of purple for some additional shading here. So those are basically the next steps, and here again I'm just putting down the color, cleaning my brush, and then slightly blending it. And I don't want to overdo it with the shading. Again, the smaller the size of the image, the less color work I will do. To keep it really loose, you see me work the whole time with a rather big round tip brush here. So I'm not going in with like a fine detail brush because I definitely don't want to spend too much time on details. I just really want to keep it open and loose.
Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming, adventure take me there. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me, and nothing in this world will interfere. This is my year. I've been watching closely now, been looking for a sign, and I can feel inside of me that this season is mine. Whoa, whoa. Feels so good to be alive, the sun upon my face. I tell you this.
And then I just want to go back in, add a little bit of blush here, just laying down a tiny bit of a light pink, softly blending it, or just going in with a pink from the palette, just to add a little bit more of like a rosy touch to the face.
A brand new hope is forming, adventure take me there. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me, and nothing in this world will interfere. This is my year. I've been watching closely now, been looking for us.
So then next I want to mute the background just a tad bit because I don't want it like so juicy and vibrant. I kind of want to push some areas back a little, so I'm just going in with a purple here, just in some areas, to kind of push the vibrant juicy colors back a little in some areas, to have a little bit more of a variation between the funky bright vibrant colors and some darker, a little more or a little less vibrant colors. Okay, for me this kind of, I don't know, it just balances it off a little better this way. So that's one thing that I like to do.
And nothing in this world will interfere.
So the next thing that I'll be doing is I want to bring a little bit more detail back into the line work, Because if you print on a textured watercolor paper and you go over the printed lines with a wet media a couple of times, like rubbing with your brush, some of the lines get a little like, how do you say, faded out, or they kind of tend to disappear a little, and some watercolors are even a little more opaque than others, so they're kind of laying themselves down on top of the line work. So I'm just grabbing a very fine black pen here. This is the Micron 0.1 millimeter. 0.1, so 1 millimeter. And I'm just going back in, just like retracing some of the lines that are already there. So you don't need to like be good in drawing. You just kind of go back in and retrace some of the lines to bring some details back in the game, back into the game where the details might have gotten lost a little because of the watercolor.
Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming, adventure take me there. It's a new day for me. I feel it in my bones, I feel alive, I am set free. It's a new day for me.
Now that I got that in place, I think first of all it asks for some white, some highlights. So I'm using my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. You could of course use white acrylic paint, white gouache paint, white gesso, a white paint marker, whatever your preference is. But I really love to work with that Bleed Proof White. It has become my favorite lately for adding in the details. And I'm sorry for the sniffing. I got a little bit of a cold, so I might sound a little bit funny. So I'm sorry for that. So I'm just adding in some little catch lights here to the eyes. Just little white light reflections. And then like a teeny tiny, slightly curved line to the eye here to give it this like watery look, this shiny eye look. And then just some little light reflections here and there, to the tip of the nose, to the lips, to the chin that is sticking out, to the cheekbones. So all those areas that are kind of sticking out furthest, and because of that would catch more light and would maybe cause a light reflection in that place. And you can totally blend that in, soften that as well. And I kind of like that look of some good white catch lights without really blending them in. But again, that's just my style. It has become my style. So just do what you prefer. add a little bit to the hair as well. If you feel like it needs a little bit more white in some areas, if it kind of lost a little bit of white in some spots, then you can totally go back in and add a little more white there. But for me that's pretty much okay already. Okay, so next I want some white splatters in the background, and I'm also using my bleed proof white for that, loading my round tip brush here, adding a little bit of water to make it more liquid, and then I'm just slightly tapping my brush with my finger for some larger splatters. I don't mind if the white splatters go into the face, totally fine for me. And if I want some smaller splatters, more like sprinkles, I just simply like knock the brush, the loaded brush, on another brush or on another pen. And as you can see, this will just give you finer splatters here, almost like a nebula, like teeny tiny universe star sparkles. Okay, looks good to me. So I'm gonna let that dry. Sorry for the gonna let that dry. And then to add some contrast, definitely need some black splatters. So I'm loading my brush here with some black watercolor. For the black splatters, I slightly shield the faces off because I don't mind the white splatters in the face, but I definitely don't want the black splatters specifically in the face, in the faces of the girls. And this black kind of adds a little more contrast here. It just kind of makes the other colors appear more vibrant, or even more vibrant, because black is a color that kind of helps the other colors to pop even more. Like that. And to kind of balance that lettering down here off a little, I want to add a little bit of text up here as well. However, I don't need any like readable text. I'm just grabbing a text stamp here, just using it with some watercolor, because I don't want that perfect stamp print that an ink pad would give me. But I'm kind of going for a little bit more of a loose watercolor look here. So I'm just applying some black and dark blue watercolor here, and this will just give me a very loose stamp print here. I'm also not using an acrylic block, as you can see, because I really just want a little bit of this text on here. Just a random part. I don't have enough space on my table. You never have enough space, right? Just like that, to kind of balance it off a little, and to kind of yeah, combine the foreground and the background a little more by overlapping the different elements here. Okay, so drying time again. So then next I got some washi tape stickers here, which I might incorporate, I'm not sure yet. But I kind of like this gold foil printed ones, maybe. Kind of look pretty cute. So I'm just gonna add some of those, some of those. I kind of like those washi stickers because they're slightly transparent, so they kind of integrate into the background without giving you too much of a sticker look. They kind of, yeah, match the background a little see-through effect here, which I kind of like. And this just gives me a little bit of this gold foiling effect here. And then I got some glitter holographic gel medium and some little stencils here because I just want to add a little bit of glitter. Yeah, so glitter it is. Using a palette knife. And let's see, maybe there's just a little bit in some random spots in the background. And since this glitter gel medium is drying transparent, I don't need to be afraid that yeah, so just adding this in some random spots. And again, since this glitter holographic texture paste medium, gel medium, is drying transparent, it's not like overpowering the piece, because there's already a lot going on here. So I tried to stay away from adding white or colored texture paste, but still I want a little bit of texture and glitter on here. Whoopsie daisy. On here for that mixed media look. So transparent or clear drying texture paste is always a very good choice in those cases, when you already have a lot going on, yet it asks for a little more sparkle and shimmer. Like that. Okay, pretty cute, I like it. Sorry guys, so let's take a look. Yeah, I like it. I think I'm calling it done. Let's see, maybe maybe I can go on and on and on, guys, I tell ya. Some more dimensional splatters here. I have this irresistible color texture spray, which I love, and I'm not using it to spray the color on, but to use this little like nozzle here just to add some little fun splatters onto the piece. And those are really pretty, I think, because they dry raised, so they kind of stay like a little dew. Almost like those, what are they called? Epoxy? No, epoxy sticker or enamel dots. You know what I mean, those little round, doomed sticky dots, whatever. You know what I mean. It dries raised. And glossy, and that's really beautiful. So got a little bit pink here and just a tiny bit of black. hope you enjoyed this, guys. Hope it inspired you a little. Yeah, and again, feel free to download the coloring sheet and to download the printable sticker sheet and use it in any way you like. It's free for personal use. And let me know, tag me, follow me on Instagram and tag me and show me what you've done with it, or inspired by this. I would love to take a look. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line down there in the comments, or leave a comment on my blog or wherever. And other than that, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful Women's Day if you're watching this today. And yeah, if you're watching this not today, on March 8th, then still have a beautiful day. And make every day our Women's Day. Celebrate yourself and the women in your life every single day. Okay, folks. Talk to you all again soon. Bye!
Another day is dawning, a new song on the air. A brand new hope is forming.